Alright, so we have here a game against Death, who's a pretty solid player. Take a look at the board, see a couple of very important cards. We have 3 different potion cards, Scrying Pool, Apothecary, and Alchemist, all pretty strong. Warehouse is a great cycler. Hunting Party is almost an engine in and of itself, so those are all extremely powerful cards. And Bishop is an alternate way of getting victory points, so that's important as well. Right in the middle of all that, however, we have the Sea Hag, which is a horrible, horrible card. Delivers curses quicker than pretty much any other, so it's pretty much obligatory to get one of those. So the only question then is what to pair it with and how to construct a long-term strategy. In this case, I think I'll go with the Warehouse as a mechanism to try and get me to my Sea Hag a bit faster as I move along. Def goes with the Silver. I think his goal is probably to get a Hunting Party to accomplish sort of the same thing. So I've got to draw 2 here, which is not particularly helpful. I'm almost hesitant to even try and purchase the Duchess. I think I'll just pass on it. It's a pretty useless card, and I don't really want to have it clash with my Sea Hag at any point, so just let it move on past. So I've got another 4 here. Don't want to purchase a Bishop. I don't think. It is nice to clear out my hand, but it's just as likely to be able to clear out his as well. So the real question is, should I start thinking about trying to get potion-related cards, or should I be building up towards that Hunting Party? I think I'm going to gamble a little bit, purchase a potion. The idea being here that these potion cards help to cycle and churn through the deck a little bit. We have 2 low-cost ones as well, so it's a bit less dangerous. If I was trying to get 4 potion, that would be very unlikely to get in a game that's going to very quickly become very curse-heavy. But some of these other cards can be potentially sort of useful. So play my Warehouse, discard those 3 cards, play the Sea Hag. So at this point he has 2 silvers and I have none, and these coppers are quickly going to start wearing themselves down a little bit, so I need to start considering purchasing some more money, but I think I'll wait one more time through and get myself some more cyclers. So really what I want here is Alchemists, just because those are a nice big draw, and the Scrying Pool and Apothecary would be a little bit less useful because there's so much junk in the deck. In this case I think I'm going to go with the Scrying Pool just as a mechanism trying to sort through the deck a little bit. It's not an ideal Scrying Pool deck because it's not very action heavy, but it has its uses. So at this point, I think it's probably time to get myself at least a little bit of money and purchase the silver here. So he's got his Hunting Party, which is a very useful card in this instance. The Sea Hag hit my Scrying Pool, which is kind of the worst possible thing for it to hit. That's really unfortunate. So we're still even on curses. I've got 3, he's got 3. I was hoping that my better cycling would give me a lead in that respect, but so far at least it has not. Unfortunately, this Warehouse reduces your hand size as you play it. I do not have enough money left to buy anything useful. starting to think there's a very good chance that, again, the sea hag hits my scrying pool. That's really tough. If I had had that on the top, I could have drawn it with this scrying pool. Only 4. That is not tremendously helpful. I want to start considering actions as much as possible if I'm going to have scrying pool in my hand. The more actions in my deck, the better. So Nomad Camp is potentially useful to go right on top of my deck, so it'll give me a little bit of purchasing power that is action-based. I don't really want to have a clash with the Sea Hag, but there's only these 2 curses left, so there's a pretty limited window of opportunity. I'm going to need them, so I'll give it a shot. So that's a pretty good chance. Give me a hunting party. That's a nice addition to my deck there. Here, I'm going to kind of backtrack on what I said before. I feel like my deck's a bit weaker, so we kind of need to start gambling a little bit. In this case, I think Bishop might be the thing that'll help a bit with that. And again, it'll give me 2 terminals that I'll want to be playing, which will be unfortunate if they clash with each other, the Bishop and the Nomad Camp, but I want to give myself some chance at an edge, and I think that there's a chance that the Bishop will be able to do that for me. So we're very likely to split these curses, 5 and 5. Finally getting a chance to use my scrying pool, which is nice. So I don't want to play my warehouse here because it would trigger a reshuffle, and I just played both my scrying pools, and I'm going to play the Sea Hag. So instead, I'll play that Sea Hag. And actually, this last hand here, I made a mistake. Since I knew I was going to be playing a Sea Hag, I shouldn't have left a curse on top of his deck with the scrying pool, because I was only going to discard it anyways. I should have seen what else I could have put on there and discarded for him. So yeah, we split the curses. So now it's a question of what else we can construct. I am going to need money, but as I said, I don't want to clog my deck up too much with non-actions, but this is not a good scrying pool situation for precisely that reason, but I gotta get a little bit of money, so kind of flailing at the wind a little bit here. He's definitely put himself into a slightly better situation than I have. He has a deck that's more constructed to use the money that he's got, and I really have to hope that those bishops, or that I can get a couple more of these scrying pools and put together a couple large hands that allow me to get some big purchases. This is why this hunting party is so strong, is he's got that 1 gold, but he can just play a couple of those hunting parties and he'll regularly find it. So the Sea Hag is totally useless to me now. So I have to decide here, do I want to play the bishop and trash this curse? I think that I'd probably want to do that, in which case I'm not really going to need this Nomad Camp because I can only play 1 terminal action, so if it comes to it, I can discard the Nomad Camp as a card to play. Sea Hag is the same, I definitely don't need it. Bishop to trash one of my curses. Hopefully he doesn't have a curse in hand. He has an estate, which is, you know, helpful for him. So now I'm in a circumstance where I have to choose, do I want to buy a hunting party or do I want to buy another scrying pool? And I think I'm going to need to go with the scrying pool, even though it wastes some of that money. I'm purchasing warehouses at this point because although they reduce hand size, my goal is to have enough scrying pools to draw a bunch of cards that will become less and less of a problem. Definitely want to make him discard the hunting party. Keep the sea hag, not because I want it, just because it doesn't matter, I'll draw through it. So again, I'm going to want to use the bishop to trash something. In this case, I'll probably use it to trash the sea hag, actually, because that'll get me a net of 2 victory points, whereas trashing the curse will only give me a net of 1 victory point. So I can afford to get rid of those. At this point, I'm cycling my deck more than anything else. I don't expect to draw enough to get anything particularly useful, but just getting myself through the reshuffle is kind of a goal here. So I'm going to trash the sea hag. So that lets him trash his sea hag, but there I got a 3 victory point swing out of that, so that's pretty useful. So again, at some point I'm going to need to start investing in some economy to get myself up to buy provinces before we run this out on piles, but for at least one more turn here I'm just going to get a scrying pool, because as you saw, it helps me run through a massive chunk of the deck, which is really pretty important at this point. This is, you see what people really dislike about the scrying pool is it takes forever to play. So I don't really want to keep this silver because it'll prevent me from drawing through, which is unfortunate because that's some of where my money's coming from, but these are the costs that we pay. So I have a bishop again. I think I'll use it again to trash a curse. The other alternative here is I could play the nomad camp, and that would get me up to 7 with a potion, so I could buy a hunting party and a scrying pool. That actually might be a better option. So why don't I discard those? Again, I won't play the warehouse because I don't want to reshuffle. The nomad camp instead. Gets me another scrying pool, another hunting party. So I really want to be thinking about piles as the ending condition here. Curses is already out, hunting party's only 1 away, warehouse is only 3 away. So we're pretty close to finishing the game. He's got this province. I've trashed one of my curses. He's trashed an estate, so I have a slight advantage there. I have a 4-point victory point advantage, so it's really quite close. Don't really have much good option there. Definitely trash a curse. Again, hope he doesn't have one in his hand. He does, so all I get is the slight victory point advantage there. Not tremendously helpful, but, you know, it's something. So I don't really have to worry about him running out scrying pools because he doesn't have any potions, so I can afford to just purchase those down as much as I like. this is really the goal when you have these scrying pool decks. So in this case, I'm considering holding on to that silver. So I'd really like to be able to purchase a province this turn, give myself a little bit of buffer against him. But since I have so much draw out of the warehouse, I think I'll take a risk. So play some hunting parties here. Discard these estates. So I'm just drawing back into the same bad cards that I've already seen. Really all I'm trying to do at this point is arrange to end at a shuffle right there. So I have a lot of money in my hand, and it's probably worth it to play that nomad camp, make some additional purchases rather than using the bishop to trash. So I can do that. So that lets me buy a province. Get one more scrying pool, as this deck is really working out quite well for me now. So as I just commented to him, I think one thing that's been really important about the difference here is that he's going for a hunting party strategy, which slightly increases his hand size. You know, it draws a replacement card and then one additional card, which is nice. But the scrying pool, when it works, can draw 3, 4, 5 cards. So you can have a big hand, which you can then use your warehouses to discard the relevant material. So it's unfortunate he's able to trash a curse here, and I don't have anything that I particularly want to get rid of. The coppers aren't great, but they're kind of my whole economy. I don't really have big money in my deck, so I'm actually not going to trash anything. I'm not sure if that's the right decision. So he's back up ahead by 1 province. We've both been able to trash 2 curses, and he has trashed an estate. So I have I'm down 5 points in terms of the cards on the deck. I'm ahead by 4 in terms of victory points, so still quite close. So as you see, just as I was saying, I was down to a couple cards in my hand, but one of them was the scrying pool, which allows me to construct a extremely large deck in spite of that. So I'm not really sure what I want to do at this point. I think I'll play my bishop, trash a curse. Contemplating the nomad camp will allow me to buy 1 more scrying pool, and then that'll kind of put me at the discretion of finishing the game since he can't purchase that last scrying pool, whereas I can. I think that's the way to go here. So he just has a duchy advantage in terms of green cards, and is missing an estate, which means he's up by 2 in terms of green cards. So I'm currently winning, I think, if I've counted correctly. do is get a potion, and I will be able to finish up the game. Hopefully the hunting party will draw the potion. Yep, still not there. There we go. Okay, so all I need to do is buy the last scrying pool and buy a province, and I will win. So yeah, I agree. As you heard, I really thought that Def had a better deck than I did. Yeah, so this I think is a pretty interesting game for precisely the reason that we're talking about here, is that the scrying pool didn't strike me as being a tremendously good scrying pool deck, but for almost precisely the reason of having all that junk in there, having a card that was able to filter through, and then being able to construct an action-heavy deck really kind of made it work pretty well. So hopefully that provided some interesting thought for people to look at. I really am kind of as much surprised at the result as Def is, but this is an interesting one to see how it all worked out. Thanks for watching.